you mentioned Google before. If you wanted Google, what would you do?
You would write to find it. So
Yeah.
you Google.
Yeah, you just put it in the search engine, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how would you spell it? Google. Yeah, exactly right. So we're using words.
Yeah.
But if I told you that the actual IP address of Google was 173.194.34.95.
What is it?
Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, I've just hidden that IP address that I've just said to you. Can you repeat to me what IP address I just said to you?
Google.
Yeah, but then I told you, so I'm going to tell you it one more time. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Google IP address is 173.194.34.95.
.34.
Okay. So when I say to you, go onto Google and find something, well, what happens if you couldn't use the word Google? What happens if you had to put in the IP address? So what is the IP address for Google?
173.193.34.95.
Is the only reason you know that because you had it written down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you remember that in 5 minutes' time?
Only if I practiced it.
You don't need to. My point is, we can use words, we can use Google, but if the computer needs to find Google, it needs to know its IP address. So the computer has to know 173.194.34.95. And the DNS, can you see the DNS on my screen?
Yeah.
That is the device that changes from the word Google to its IP address of 173.194.34.95. So that is what a DNS does. The domain name server converts it from our word Google to the IP address. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Is it public?
Sorry?
Is the IP address public or something?
Since every single device has an IP address, even your phone, even your tablet, even your laptop, even your desktop, there are absolutely gazillions of IP addresses. So you wouldn't necessarily know somebody else's IP address because there are so many, we couldn't remember them all.
You see, you gave me this IP address. If I search it on the search engine, would it bring me to Google?
It used to. Try it.
Okay. 173.193.34.95.
What does it show?
It's just loading. Oh, yeah. It just when I search it, nothing comes up.
All right, okay.
It
might have slightly changed because IP addresses do change.
It's because I was on Google.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to change it.
Yes.
But
so it changes.
Go to a new tab on your computer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know what computer you are working on because every computer is different. But put in how do I find my IP address, and then put in the make and the model of your computer.
How
So how do I find my IP address? And then put in your computer. So for instance, I've got a MacBook Air. So I've put in, how do I find my IP address, MacBook Air? So on mine, you go to System Preferences. Do you have System Preferences on yours?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Oh, you got to click on the Wi-Fi. Oh, yes. Yeah. TCP, what's...
Okay, so I've just found my IP address.
Yeah.
So on my computer, I went to System Preferences and then I went to Network.
Yeah.
And then it tells me what my IP address is.
Yes.
But yours will be different because you have... what model and make have you got computer?
MacBook.
Oh, you got a MacBook too. Okay, yeah. So you might be the same. Can you see?
Yeah, it said...
Can you find... Did you find it?
Yeah.
And did you find your IP address? So if you go to Preferences and then go to Network.
I don't have preferences.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Oh, yeah, I do, yeah.
Have you got the little apple sitting in the corner?
Is it next to Chrome?
Yes. So you click on the little apple and then you go to System Preferences.
Yeah.
And then you go to Network.
Yeah.
And then it should start listing your Wi-Fi and stuff. Have you got that?
Yeah.
And somewhere on there, it should tell you your IP address. And it will be a number that's 3 numbers and then a dot, and then another 3 numbers and a dot, and then probably 2 numbers and a dot and 2 numbers.
Yeah, because it's 10 digits.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how you find it.
Yeah.
Okay, can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so what we're going to look at now is how the web address, how the actual URL is made up. So, can you see this web address that I've got here? www.abc.co.uk, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so the bit in red is obvious. That just means it's hosted on the World Wide Web. Can you see the bit in gold that says ABC?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the organisation.
Yeah.
Can you see the bit in green that just says CO?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can see the bit in blue that says UK?
Yeah.
So, co.uk means it's a company in the UK.
Yeah.
Now, after that, it's telling you the name of the folder. Do you save your stuff in folders on your computer?
Yeah. No, document.
Yeah, okay, so on this one, the folder is called Images. And then, you know when you save something and you give it a sensible name?
Yeah.
So in this one, the file name is logo, because let's just pretend I'm saving a logo. And then the .jpg, do you remember what JPEG means?
No. Wait.
Remember we talked about images?
Oh, it was... Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah. So a JPEG is just simply an image. So what this is actually telling you is, so www.abc.co.uk.images.logo.jpg. All that's telling you is it's on the World Wide Web. It's got the name of the organisation, the company, it's UK based, the name of the folder, the name of the file name, and it's an image. Yeah?
So whenever it's like a logo, whenever it's an image, you save it as a JPG. JPG.
Well, a lot of images are saved as JPG, but do you remember we talked about some images, if you want them to return them to their original quality, a JPEG doesn't. It becomes all pixelated.
Yeah.
So if you want an image that you can restore back to its original quality, we might save it as a .png.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So these are domain names. So do you remember I said domain is like home?
Yeah.
So .uk, I know you know what that one stands for.
Yes.
What does it stand for?
United Kingdom.
Excellent. Well done. What's .fr?
I'm not sure.
What's on the other side of the channel?
.fr. Where is it?
Yeah,
France.
if you go on a ferry across the channel, what do you get to?
France.
Good. So what do you think .fr is?
No.
So it's not in the UK.
Yeah.
.fr is in...
France.
Good, well done. Now, this one might be a bit confusing. What do you think .es is? What's beyond France? If you drive all the way through France, what do you get to?
Spain.
Exactly right, because Spain in Spanish is, do you know?
Español.
Excellent, well done. Good job.
Yeah.
Now, the next one is going to be confusing. What do you think .de is? And everybody gets this wrong.
Why I can't see DE on the map.
No, it's the big green words. So I've got .uk, .fr, .es, .de.
Yeah.
So what do you think .de is? It's slap bang in pink at the top.
Denmark.
Oh, you're a star. Well done.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What do you think CZ is? That's a bit of a giveaway with a Z in it, isn't it? CZ.
No.
Exactly right. Good.
Yeah.
So those ones are the countries, so that you know what country it is. So you would know if you did co.uk, it would be a company in the United Kingdom, yes?
Yes.
Now, sometimes you don't know, because look at the ones on the bottom. A lot of the time we have .com. Do you know what .com means?
Is it America?
It actually could be anywhere. Do you know what it's short for? .com. It's a company.
Company, yeah. .company, yeah.
So